Hello fellow Star Wars fans, it is Starrapter here and welcome back to the channel. It's time for another video where I talk about the High Republic, the upcoming publishing, storytelling, told 200 years before the events of the Phantom Menace. So this is going to involve the comics and novels, but my question for you guys today involves, can this go past the publishing medium and eventually go into stories told through video games, told through TV as well as movies. Before we get started, if you guys like this content, you can show your appreciation simply by subscribing. So let's just jump right on in. It is known that this is going to be just the comics and the novels, but as shown in the trailer for the High Republic, they are treating this like it is a film with all the concept art and the amount of different kind of involvement that you would normally see for a movie being put into a publishing project. So this is my standpoint. Why wouldn't I want more Star Wars content that is going to be eventually movies, video games, and TV? Because so far I love all of it that has been explored in Star Wars. But here's the thing. I think it is quite something special to have an era of Star Wars storytelling told exclusively in the printed word and through still images in comic books, because this is sort of nostalgia built up for me, because going back to the old days of the expanded universe, you know, the early 90s with the Heir to the Empire trilogy and all the awesome comics, that was told strictly through that medium. That's how we got those stories about Mara Jade. That's how we got those stories about Dash Rendar, right? That's where my level of fascination with Star Wars really began to grow, is telling these stories that were outside of the movies and that we could actually have our own take on what we envision these characters to be, what we envision these moments in the stories to be, using our imagination. I feel like that is just so powerful for what Star Wars has done for everyone, is help people really get invested in these stories and to just come up with their own ideas. However, I think in today's Star Wars climate or environment, whatever you want to explain, it's run by Disney, and Disney's going to probably want to eventually go into making these into movies and TV, and especially video games. And what that could be is just, this would be the groundwork, right? We know this as phase one. That is what Michael C. Lane, who is like the Nick Fury of gathering all these authors working on the High Republic, has explained. This is basically phase one, just books and comics. Now, hey, what's to say maybe phase 3 involves a video game, and phase 4 involves a TV series, and phase 5 eventually brings it to the big screen. But by this time, we already have these characters that the book readers and the comic readers are invested in, and it'll be a different thing for Disney, right? Because they do not have to recanonize everything like they did with making new movies with 7, 8, and 9. Now, I would expect, hopefully, that whoever would direct a movie or whatever produce a video game would look back at the content that is already out there for the books and stuff by Charles Soule and everybody else like Cavan Scott and Claudia Gray and Justina Ireland and Daniel Jose Older, and doesn't hopefully step on their toes and tries to retell anything. I think with making this such a big deal with the books and comics, they have to acknowledge what has come before, and they cannot change anything. And I really hope that is what happens here, is that they respect each other, and the creators of what happens eventually respect it. And let's look at the longevity of the High Republic, the amount of work and potential, right? Told 200 years before the events of the Phantom Menace. We can have stories about this era for years. So I hope that at the very least we get maybe a couple years of just exclusive content with the books and comics. Let the era breathe and kind of expand just in its own publishing, and then maybe it'll be time to explore the other mediums. And then of course it's a great thing for Disney, because then they're like, hey, you know, this really cool era of Star Wars storytelling we're going to tell in a movie? We already have 3 years worth of books and comics. So if you want to learn about the backstory about this whole conflict of whatever might happen, you can go ahead and you can experience that in, you know, the Light of the Jedi or something, whatever, one of the books. So it's going to be a cool kind of cross-pollination of storytelling, maybe through Star Wars. So that is my take on what I think might happen with the future of the High Republic. And this is being put out there before I read a single page of anything High Republic. I'm just so happy that this is actually a thing. It's gonna happen. I hope you guys are excited too. Tell me in the comment section below, would you prefer this medium of Star Wars storytelling with the High Republic just in the publishing, or would you like to maybe one day see the High Republic on the big screen, in a video game, or on a TV screen? Let's talk about it all in the comment section down below. For more on the High Republic, I talk about that quite frequently on the channel. You can go ahead and subscribe to the channel so you never miss any more videos coming out about the High Republic, but I also have been talking a lot about the final season of the Clone Wars and other things, so make sure you go ahead and subscribe. That is going to do it for me, Starrapter. Thank you so much for watching, and may the Force be with you always. Thanks for checking out the video. Please hit that thumbs up symbol. It helps me know that I'm making content that you guys enjoy. And if you enjoyed this video, I also include 2 videos down below you guys should check out. And please consider subscribing to this channel. It helps support me, and it notifies you guys of when I get new videos up on the channel. You can also contact me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Starrapter.